And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. I'm fired up today talking to you about semen retention again, which we do quite often on this channel. And I want to talk to you about relapse, okay? Let's think about semen retention for a little bit. Many of you have been on this journey for like maybe a few weeks, some of you a few months, some of you might have been on this journey for a few years, and you still have not been able to break 90 days. Okay, well, I'm here to help you guys out. The one thing that I figured out about semen retention, if you have never practiced it before, the moment you're gonna start practicing it, you are going to beat yourself up, okay? You're gonna beat yourself pretty much to death emotionally when you relapse. It's a very bad strategy if you want to eventually succeed with semen retention. Why? Why is that? It's because you succeeding in anything has everything to do with your confidence levels. If you're confident, if you have a high self-worth, if you have an awesome self-image, you're going to look at yourself a different way than someone who has a low self-confidence, low self-image, low self-worth, etc., right? You look at yourself in a different way, and it causes you to literally look at ejaculation and porn and all those things that you've done in the past, and it just doesn't mesh. Like those two don't connect. Like you can connect addiction, ejaculation, masturbation, lonely, sadness, lack of that you can connect that with low self-worth, low confidence, and all that crap, right? But you can't connect high self-worth, high self-image, massive self-confidence, and addiction. It doesn't work, right? So the whole key to success, I'm giving you the whole spiel right here, right now, to succeed in semen retention and go as long a streaks that you desire, has to do with changing the image about you. I don't do those type of things because I am high value. I have high self-confidence. I have a high self-image. So if we can connect that to winning in life, winning with trading, with the stock market, okay? With Bitcoin, with whatever it is that you want to win at. Let me tell you one thing about recessions. There's an amazing quote that helps you to understand how the rich play the market. And this quote is, never ever waste a good recession. Recessions? Are they good? Aren't they bad? Aren't they horrible for society at large? Don't people lose millions and billions of dollars in recessions? Yes. However, the people who are rich, they're the ones that make the most money in recessions. How's that possible? Well, if everyone is making money in good times, right? What happens when there's a recession? Everyone loses tons of money and they now have to sell all of their assets. Everyone has to sell all of their assets, except for the rich, except for those that have excess cash and excess assets. That when they get, when their net worth decreases, it doesn't decrease that much that they have to sell their stuff. Those are the times that they make the most money, right? They're just waiting for the recessions to happen so that they can come and swoop up all of the distressed assets from the middle class. They love doing that because it makes them richer and richer and richer. Now, I'm not bagging on those that are helping distressed people who need to sell their assets, because we need to have buyers at that time, right? You can't hate on those that are actually taking those assets off you and helping you to get cash when you're in need of cash. So don't hate the rich, okay? I love the rich, okay? There's some bad people amongst the rich, but there's some bad people amongst the poor too. So you can't say that it's because that they're rich that they're bad, okay? Rich people are awesome. Poor people are awesome too. But then there's some small anomalies on each side that are horrible people, and they basically mess it up for everyone else. But what I'm talking about here is semen retention. Remember that? I'm connecting success in life and in terms of recessions with your semen retention journey. Never waste a good recession, because the times when you relapse, the times when you lose everything, that's the time when you can make the most money if you are prepared, if you have a good self-image, if you have confidence, if you have like nice self-worth. So how do you get that nice self-worth? You gotta think like the rich. How do you think like the rich when it comes to semen retention? When the market goes up, when prices go up, I make a lot of money. When prices go down, when there's a recession, I make even more money. Right? They win no matter what. I've said it when it comes to Bitcoin. I'm fired up outside my brain if the price goes up, and I'm fired up outside my brain if the price goes down, because then I can buy more. Connect the dots towards semen retention. What happens when you relapse? Oh no, man, I messed up. Oh, I went 28 days, or I went 14 days. I can't get past 21 days. I'm beating myself up, and I'll never be able to make it happen. The probability that you will succeed with semen retention the next round, okay, your next cycle, when you're beating yourself up because of your relapse, the probability you're going to succeed in the next cycle that you have decreases over time. Do you see what happens there? Low self-worth, low confidence, low all of that stuff. That's going to make it harder for you to practice semen retention, not easier. So that's why I see like people that are on nofap and semen retention, and they're stuck there for months and years, wasting their precious time thinking about, oh, no porn, thinking about, oh, no fap, thinking about semen retention, when they should be out there in the world serving, forgetting about themselves, forgetting about their problems, forgetting about their addictions, and become worthwhile. Do something. Help people. Make money. Build businesses. Do something else than just, think about semen retention and nofap and all that stuff. I'd rather you be out there and work than be at home worrying about semen retention and nofap and overcoming your addictions. Because that's the time when you do succeed at semen retention and nofap, is when you're out there working. When you're out there putting in the 10 to 12 hours every single day. You come home, you collapse in bed, you forgot to masturbate that day. Oh wow, I'm on semen retention because I don't have time to watch porn or masturbate. Do you get my drift? I'm connecting the dots again. You're on semen retention. Oh, I have the longest streaks. The price goes up. The market goes up. I have the longest streak. My self-worth, my confidence is so high. Man, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. Relapse. Fantastic. I'm fired up outside my brain, man. I relapsed, okay? I didn't do it on purpose. I probably could have made, longer streak. Everything would have been perfect. I did relapse, though. What do you do to yourself? What do you say to yourself during those times? Yes, let's get going, okay? And then you go and do 20 push-ups immediately, because now, man, you're ready to get going. What I've noticed, and you've probably noticed too, when you relapse, that is the time when you're most fired up about progressing, going harder at it. if you are ambitious, if you've had some forms of streaks, and if you have some level of confidence. Because you're like, I gotta make up for the fact that I was weak. I gotta make up for the fact that I, did something that I didn't want to do. So now I have to increase my level of discipline to the next degree, to the next level, to show that I'm not weak, right? And then you end up doing things that maybe you wouldn't have done if you stayed at that same, semen retention level over a long period of time. It is okay to fail as long as you get back up with power. Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying here in terms of connecting relapses to never waste a good relapse? Okay? Make it worthwhile. You ejaculate? Okay, you know what? I failed. I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna get fired up outside my brain and I'm gonna go out and do what, Joseph says on the Men of High Value channel. I'm gonna go and serve people. If I don't have a job, I'm gonna apply for 20 jobs per day, 50 jobs per day, 100 jobs per day is what I recommend. And then you go out there and serve the people. Forget yourself, forget your addictions, forget your problems, and start solving other people's problems. That's what a man of high value would do. Okay? Never waste a good relapse. Never waste a good recession. You win when you have a long streak, but you also win when you've accidentally, okay? It's important that it's accidental, right? You can't use this for fake purposes. You can't be like, I'm going to masturbate now and then I'm going to be more motivated. It doesn't work like that. When you fail, then, okay, it's an accident. I didn't do it as on purpose. I just couldn't control myself. Okay, now you show that you can use this relapse in order for you to get more disciplined, get more on track, figure out what is it that I learned, how can I improve next time, etc., etc., etc. Do you understand what I mean? I think you guys understand what I mean. Connect the dots of self-confidence, self-worth, self-image, right? If you are winning when you have a long streak, but you're also winning despite your relapse because you never waste a good relapse, then you are a winner no matter what happens on your journey, right? And that's going to elevate your self-worth, your self-confidence, which increases the probability of you succeeding on your next cycle of semen retention. It's that simple, guys. And it's also that hard. But that's okay, because this is your journey towards success. This is the hardest addiction to get rid of. Is women and ejaculation, masturbation, porn, right? It's a massive addiction, but if you change your environment, and your environment is you, okay, and your talk, right? Then you basically change your behavior. We're learning masculinity here. We're learning how to control our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors. The moment you learn to control your thoughts, game over. In a good way. You actually come to the next level in life. You become a powerhouse, man. Do you know how few people are able to control their thoughts? Very few people. Right? That's the thing that millionaires do. If they can control their thoughts, they can control their emotions. Right? That's what I wanted to share with you guys. Just one little last thing about addiction. I could make a whole freaking new video about it, but I love the thought process of understanding addiction with someone who's a drug addict and someone who is in the hospital and receives the same intense drugs as the drug addict receives in the street, right? When you have surgery and you have got really crappy things happening to you, you go to the hospital to fix the problem and they give you morphine, they give you the harshest drugs, and then you think that you would be now, more likely to become an addict because you got that stuff in your system. And it was nice, and so you want it again, right? Not so. Why is that? It's because when you're in the hospital, it's like a cocoon. It's like an environment that is not continuous. So you receive those blasts of drugs there, but the moment you're now, released from the hospital, you're not your environment anymore. Your environment is not going to encourage you to have morphine or to have other kinds of drugs to encourage an addiction to happen. Does that make sense? So the people who go to the hospital, get those shots and get those drugs, they come out again, they're not drug addicts. In the same way, drug addicts, the only thing that's their problem is their environment. Is they're stuck in their thoughts, or they're stuck with other drug addicts, or they're stuck with, do you understand what I mean? So they end up staying, amongst the people who have those problems. And as long as that's their environment, they're going to relapse again and again and again and again. Connecting this to your semen retention journey is that the place where you relapse the most is at home, in your room, right? Or in whatever, in your house. Get out of it. Stop being at home. Do not allow that to be your environment all day long, because you'll never get over NoFap and learning how to control yourself, because you're in a bad environment. You're in an addicted environment because you've made some connections about that specific environment. So it's not going to help for you to move somewhere else. What's going to help is you going out there and doing something else. I just wanted to finish off with that so that you guys understand how all of this works, so you never ever have to become an addict or remain an addict forever. Okay? And if you still have issues, you know who to talk to, right? DM me at Instagram, at Men of High Value. For those of you who don't understand what you were doing videos every other day before, Joseph, where are the rest of your videos? Bro, you have not paid attention. Patreon.com/Men of High Value. For less than $1 a day, you have access to all of my Men of High Value videos when you don't catch them live here on YouTube. So make sure you sign up there and subscribe and like as well. Let's go through the comments before we finish off. Addiction is the need to escape your thoughts because you can't control them. Absolutely, Tamara. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I will see you in the next one.